Jenna Ortega, the star of the well-known Netflix series Wednesday, has recently been in the headlines for openly criticizing the show's script and taking matters into her own hands. Shocking turn of events, she has been called out for being entitled and toxic by her co-stars and colleagues in the entertainment industry.
There was times on that set where I even became almost unprofessional in a sense where I just started changing lines. The script supervisor thought that I was going with something, and then I would have to sit down with the writers and they would be like, wait, what happened to the scene? And I would have to go through and explain why I couldn't do certain things. I grew very, very protective of her, but you can't lead a story and have no emotional arc.
The news has sent shockwaves throughout Hollywood as people struggle to accept the accusations. Jenna, who has always been seen as a rising star in the industry, is now facing some serious backlash. Her fans are outraged, her critics are rejoicing, and the media is having a field day. Hey, I'm Kat. Welcome back to Rumor Has It. The talented Jenna Ortega has gotten a massive career boost from her role in Wednesday. She's been making headlines lately thanks to her appearance in the latest Scream movie as her hosting gig on Saturday Night Live. But here's the really interesting part. Jenna's been very open about her experience working on Wednesday, and she hasn't been afraid to criticize the show when she feels it's necessary. She's talked about changing lines she didn't like and even dragging the show in interviews. She said, "I don't think I've ever had to put my foot down on a set in the way that I had to on Wednesday." It's pretty refreshing to see an actor being so honest about their work like that, and Jenna's talent and star power will only continue to grow from here. She revealed that she took matters into her own hands, changing lines she disagreed with to better fit her character's vision. Jenna appeared on Dax Shepard's Armchair Expert podcast and didn't hold back when discussing her character, Wednesday Addams. According to Jenna, she had some reservations about the character early on in the show's development. She explained that the way Wednesday was written at first just didn't make sense to her. But rather than simply accept the role as is, Jenna spoke up and worked with the show's creators to make some changes that would better align with her vision for the character. The 20-year-old actress expressed her frustration with the level of control she had to exert on the set of her latest project, Wednesday. She revealed that there were instances where she had to put her foot down and become almost unprofessional to ensure that her character was portrayed accurately. Jenna said that there were times on the set where I even became unprofessional in a sense, where I just started changing lines. The script supervisor thought I was going with something, and then I would have to sit down with the writers and they'd be like, wait, what happened to the scene? And I would have to go through and explain why I couldn't do certain things. I grew very, very protective of her. Ortega expressed another week's dissatisfaction with her project's latest script. She revealed that her character's actions and lines did not make sense in the context of the character's personality. Specifically, Ortega mentioned a love triangle plotline in a line about a dress that her character had to wear to a school dance. She felt these elements were out of character and didn't align with the character's personality. Ortega's comments highlight the importance of a well-written script accurately representing the characters and their motivations. Everything that she does, everything that I had to play, did not make sense for her character at all. Her being in a love triangle made no sense. There was a line about this dress that she has to wear for a school dance, and she says, "Oh my god, I love it." I can't believe I said that. I literally hate myself. And I had to go, there's no way. Elsewhere, Jenna said that the show was different than what she expected. When Jenna initially signed on to the project, she did not have access to the full scripts, and as a result, she had certain expectations regarding the tone and content of the show. However, upon receiving the full series, Jenna realized that the show was intended for a younger audience, and the tone was not as dark as she initially thought. This confusion regarding the tone and target audience of the show can be challenging for actors, as it affects how they approach their performance and the portrayal of their characters. However, Jenna's ability to adapt to the changes in tone and effectively portray her character demonstrates her versatility as an actress. Despite the initial confusion, actors must remain open-minded and flexible when approaching new projects, as they never know what changes or surprises may come. When I first signed on, I didn't have all the scripts. I thought it was going to be a lot darker. When I read the entire series, I realized, oh, this is for younger audiences. I didn't know what the tone was. It was confusing in that sense, definitely. In response to Jenna's revelations, TV producer and filmmaker Stephen DeKnight criticized her in a series of tweets that were damaging and hurtful. These tweets have forced Jenna to delete her Twitter account, a concerning development in the entertainment industry. "I love talking with actors about their line stories," he tweeted to his 49,000 followers. But by the nature of the beast, they don't have the full picture in TV of where the story is going and why some lines are needed for the whole thing to make sense. She's young, so maybe she doesn't know any better, but she should. She should also ask herself how she would feel if the showrunners gave an interview and talked about how difficult she was and refused to perform the material, he continued. This kind of statement is beyond entitled and toxic. I love her work, but life's too short to deal with people like this in the business. One of his followers tweeted, "You don't do that in the middle of shooting on set. You don't dress people down publicly like that. That is not typical practice. That absolutely is unprofessional and toxic and entitled. That's not standing up for her art. You have an issue with the script, discuss privately. Steven's comments have sparked a response from fans, coming to the defense of Jenna, arguing that she was only doing what she believed was necessary to give her character the best portrayal possible. I like Steven DeKnight's work, but his take on Jenna Ortega is whack, one user wrote. She's not toxic, she's standing up for her art and her character. Holding writers accountable for inconsistency and shitty work isn't unprofessional, it's the opposite. Another added, I don't trust people who are calling Jenna Ortega entitled and toxic. She cares about the characters she plays, and spoke up when she felt like people were pushing for things that didn't make sense. She worked her ass off for this role, and 2 weeks ago y'all were praising the fuck out of her, but God forbid a young Latina woman speaks up and suddenly she's this aggressor with attitude issues. Like, are y'all fucking serious? Some fans have pointed out that actors often make creative decisions to embody their characters better, and that Jenna was well within her rights to make choices about her character's appearance and personality. Others have argued that Steven's criticism of Jenna was unwarranted and unfair, and that he should support his fellow cast members more. Overall, it's clear that Jenna has a strong fan base willing to stand up for her when necessary. One of her fans said, I'm going to disagree, her critiques of the writing seem valid. She's calling out bored tropes of love triangles for female characters, not changing the plot willy-nilly. We also have no idea how much of a dialogue was had, and if everyone ultimately agreed. While defending Jenna, one of her fans tweeted, I think he's mad that a 20-year-old girl had the guts to criticize his job and made changes that made it better. It is just a hit to his ego. Plus, cry me a river about the writers having to rewrite. We all must adapt to changes regardless of our line of work. Another answered the tweet, correct, and he's never worked with this person, so he made up a scenario in his head, hurt his feelings, and tweeted about it professionally. There's a toxic, entitled diva here, but it ain't her. Fans have expressed their support for Jenna and emphasized the importance of actors being able to speak out and advocate for themselves without fear of backlash or retaliation. These comments also highlight the impact that industry professionals can have on the public perception of a project. Steven's criticism of Jenna could potentially harm the show's reputation and its producers. Ultimately, industry professionals must support and uplift one another to create a safe and healthy work environment for all actors and industry professionals, rather than tearing each other down. So, what do you think about Jenna's reaction to being called entitled and toxic? Comment below. We love reading your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon in another video.